going on, Jeromes? So the Minnesota Vikings definitely need to improve at the pivot position, as Garrett Bradbury, the Grim Reacher, former first-round pick, 6 years of, well, maybe he'll get better. Maybe things will improve. Solid as a leader, solid calling out protection, solid in run blocking, but pass protection, that quick interior pass rush, all up in the A-gaps, up against man-sized nose tackles. It just hasn't worked out. All right. And, the Vikings had high hopes, whereas super athletic, undersized, perfect in outside zone, but I don't know. And Bradbury, no guaranteed money left on his deal. He's in the final year of his contract extension, and the Vikings should and could look to upgrade now in-house. In the draft, it's a little bereft of day one set it and forget it starting centers. Jared Wilson from Georgia, Jake Majors from Texas, Gray Zabel if he moves from NDSU. So the Vikings should and could look into free agency. Now, Drew Dalman is the 1-1 for free agent centers, right? And again, the class is pretty thin outside of a guy, Ryan Kelly, which I don't know, Ryan Kelly's a little bit older in the tooth, a little bit longer in the tooth. I still would take Kelly as a stopgap over Bradbury. I think that he would be solid for a year or two as you get a better look at Juergens, as you get a better look at players in the draft. You can certainly look to upgrade there. But Dalman's going to be out there, and he is going to get paid. Is projected at $14 million per year, so a 4-year, $56 million deal, $30 million guaranteed from Pro Football Focus. That could be more, especially since it's a limited resource. He's the only center in free agency besides Kelly, who's going to get a huge payday, and the Bears have already expressed interest reportedly, and Dalman could be the beneficiary of a bidding war. Here's free agent profile from PFF. There aren't many long-term answers in free agency at center. I just said that. Which will make Dalman the primary beneficiary. I just said that. If he reaches the open market, any team that deploys an outside zone rushing scheme, which the Vikings do, will be all over the former 4th-round pick. Dalman has room to grow as a pass protector, but is one of the best run blocking centers in the NFL and will advance the continued growth of the interior offensive line market after Kansas City Chiefs center Creed Humphrey finally reset the center market. Now, if the Chiefs hadn't extended Creed long term, I would have been all in, but don't really get that feeling with Dalman. Dalman is nice. Dalman would be an upgrade over Bradbury in the run game, but I don't know. Pass protection, is it just more of the same? Now, Dalman missed time last year with injury, so the number of reps don't really stack up. But overall, pressures allowed, yes. Sacks, yes. Penalties. Pass blocking efficiency was actually lower than Garrett Bradbury over the last 2 seasons, and the PFF pass. Should note that these stats are over the last 2 years. PFF pass blocking grade, despite having good numbers this year in limited action, it's slightly better than Bradbury. Still below the Mendoza line of what you would want, but slightly better there. So, but it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like, hey, is Dalman just a version of Garrett Bradbury with better PR? Certainly possible. Now, a couple issues with Dalman. So we said great run blocking center, especially outside zone. Pass blocking. Is he elite in the run blocking numbers because of Bergeron? Certainly could be possible. Also, Tyler Algier is no slouch in short yardage. So it's a chicken or the very expensive eggs thing. Is Dalman good because of the running backs, or are the running backs good because of Dalman? It's a question. 2024 numbers could be skewed by Cousins, especially in pass protection, because Cousins could not move. Right, and Cousins was always in shotgun, and that could be skewing things against him. Maybe his pass protection, limited sample size, was actually good, but flanked by 2 really solid offensive guards, Chris Lindstrom, who's a perennial All-Pro. Low key on a Hall of Fame track as well. I think Lindstrom's one of the more underrated guards in the league. Also, Bergeron, the former second-round pick, is doing some damn solid work as well. And that's the thing with Bradbury, too. Every single year, it's just improve guard play around him, improve guard play around him, improve guard play around him. Is it that, or is it him? I don't know. Also, the Falcons don't want to keep him. So if he is the best free agent center on the market, why don't the Falcons want to keep him? Now, yes, Atlanta, because of the Kurt contract, they're underwater right now, about $5.9 million over the cap, so they got to free up some space. But of course, the cap is a myth; they can move things around. If they're really motivated to keep Dalman, they could do it. But the price tag, $14 million plus per year, maybe even more if he gets to the open market. I mean, does that shy Falcons away? Should that shy the Vikings away? He is a 3-year starter, does have NFL bloodlines. His pops, NFL coach, as well as a starting center for the 49ers in the 90s. Adept at wide zone, so he would be tailor-made for the Vikings, but you do question the pass protection, right? And the Vikings would have to take a long, hard look at that. And would the juice be worth the squeeze, right? Because Dalman at $12 million per year, replacing Bradbury, who you can move on, no muss, no fuss. It's a no-brainer. But Dalman at 14, 15, 16 per year, that's where it gets a little bit dicey. So I know that Dalman is the cat's ass right now. He's going to be a big name flying around in free agency the next couple of days, especially for the Vikings. But I don't know. I don't know if he's enough of an upgrade in pass protection to warrant the big time price tag and moving on from Bradbury, even though the Vikings do have to do something. But I guess we'll see. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Issues with Drew Dalman? Question? Let us know. Comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.